Hello, Scrappy Peeps. Suzanna here today to share with you this large photo layout. It is interactive and it was created using the Yesterday collection from DLS Design. So I have the kit as well as, so I believe I have the XL and then I've got the paper pad, the 6x8 paper pad. So what I'm doing here is I'm just using white cardstock and I'm using that to create the hinge for those 6x4 pieces of cardstock that are pre-cut. So because I get the pocket kit, I get pre-cut 4x6 as well as 3x4 or 4x3 note cards. So, or cards or pattern paper, I should say. So each of these is 4 inches across, followed by a 1/2 inch. So I cut out a 4x1 and I've scored it at the 1/2 inch mark, and now I'm using 1/2 inch tape. And these are literally going to be the hinges that are going to attach the 4x6 cards to the left-hand side of the photo and then to the right-hand side of the photo. So I put double-sided tape on both parts of the hinge there, and so you can see how this will then hinge down to my 12x12 piece of white cardstock and open up just like that, and then I will put the photo on top of it. So you will see the white cardstock on the back side there of the 4x6 card, but I'm not really worried about it because that will be hanging over the edge of the page protector. Many of you seem to be very concerned about how I'm going to get to the interactive elements when it's in a page protector. Well, these will be hanging over it. And so what I love is you still see the photo on the page, but you don't get the full effect of the photo until you lift up those flaps. So for my footer, just to ground the page, I am using this awesome washi that comes with the kit. And then I am going to add to that footer, make it a little bit more visually interesting by using the stamp set. So there's 2 stamp sets that come. One, you have these large numbers that are really cool, as well as these phrases. So there are 3 different fonts, and I will try and go through the 3 different fonts using this Pinkfresh Studio ink, which it's not Pinkfresh Studio. This is a really old, I want to say this is not Kelly Perky. This is something else that is not labeled, but it's sea glass. And so I am going to use that to stamp all the way across, and then I'm going to use the little tiny circles just as little dots between each of the phrases. So I have done and documented, an amazing feeling, a moment worth documenting, adventure time, no caption needed, memories, a beautiful journey, and I'm not old, I'm a classic is the last one that follows. So I will go through that the whole way across. I will spare you having to watch me do that. Also with the kit is this awesome acrylic that just says memories. I'm going to put one of the words that come with the collection, beautiful, above it, and so it will say beautiful memories. I have the ephemera pack here, and one of the things you have to remember about DLS Design ephemera packs is most of the elements are much smaller than what we are used to here in the US with the ephemera that we normally get. Keep in mind that this is the pocket kit, right? So even for scrapbook layouts, they are generally smaller ephemera pieces than we are accustomed to, but they're super cool because there's, I don't even know the number, but there's got to be over 100 pieces of ephemera in this ephemera pack. So one pack goes a long, long way. I mean, look at what I'm sorting through just to get, right? I've sorted through a lot and I haven't even gone through all of it. So what I pulled out are pretty much florals and some greenery as well as some hearts, just to further embellish the florals that I'm going to cut. So I have a leaf, a foliage die that you see right there. That is from DLS Design. I do not have a flower design, and I want to put larger flowers in the center of this white space down here. So I am going to use another company's dies. But I am going to use the pattern papers, and I spared you the agony of watching me cut all those flowers out. So I did the purple, the teal, and the yellow for the large florals, and then I'm going to use this green with the DLS Design die for the greenery that will supplement the color in these florals here. So cutting that out, and again, I will spare you the agony of watching me do that multiple times. Actually, no, I'm going to make you watch me do it multiple times. So this one I actually only run through twice, and then I am going to arrange all of those bits to create a lovely floral sprig across the center of this white space here. And I will show you how I start out, but I don't actually show you the laying out of all of it because, as Suzanna does, I'm going to lay it all out, and I'm not going to take a picture, and then I'm going to, as I glue it down, rearrange it. So I'm going to spare you the agony of watching me go through this whole procedure. So that's kind of what I want it to look like. Also accompanying the kit, you have these awesome alphas. So these alphas you can get in this, I'm using the smaller size, but there are some letters that come in a larger size too. Because this is somewhat grid-like, I want these letters to be uniform, and I am actually going to line them up. So I want this to say Rose Canyon Lake because that's where we were. And so I'm looking for a nice mix of letters. I want the light letters as well as the dark letters to create balance as it goes across the page there. So and again, look at all the letters that are still down there. There's tons and tons of letters. So what's great about these packs, ephemera packs, letter packs, is that you do get a huge variety. So really good bang for your buck. Keep in mind that DLS design is in the Netherlands, so shipping is somewhat more expensive. It is more expensive, and it does take longer, but it's so worth the wait for these amazing kits. And I will link you to the website down below. So just using my dot roller to get all of those adhered. And now that that is there, it's time to actually adhere this floral cluster to the page. And so I've started, and you will see that it looks sort of like how I started, but not a whole lot how I started. So I am using double-sided foam to pop a couple of the flowers up. I just like the shadow that that leaves, and it gives it more dimension. I talk a lot about dimension and texture. Not all of the petals are adhered down. In fact, you can see I only put a little bit of green adhesive on that green strip there so that things kind of float and there's a little bit of movement on the page as well. I really like that. So you'll see there's a flower to the top left, sort of left-hand side, bottom of the top third. I forgot about that flower, and it really needs that tealy color because that's what pulls the top of the layout down into this bottom piece. And so it actually worked out really well that I forgot about it because where I tuck it in, it ends up covering some of the really long sprig of greenery there that just, it needed a little bit of balance. And so, yeah, Providence. I think things work out the way that they're supposed to. Yes. So, I like that. And, I'm going to, I want to fill that space between Canyon and the florals. It definitely needs something, but so here you can see I'm primarily have worked on all of the die cut elements, or the elements that I cut with my metal dies. Then I have the actual die cuts that I'm going to meld into that. So the smaller florals and the smaller sprigs, and the sprigs actually come in other colors as well, which tie that in as well nicely. So you can see I've kind of closed that trapped space between Canyon and the florals there. Again, with some of those smaller florals, which also just makes it a little less in your face, I think. Also with the collection, you get these great purple epoxies. Some of them are white centered. And so I'm going to use two, but I'm actually going to pull off the one on that yellow. Yep, I think, do I do it? No, I don't do it on camera. It looks fine here on camera, but looking at it, the purple on the white was just this really stark yeah, I do pull it off. And so I'm going to also use some of the epoxies that also coordinate with the collection as well. And then, so for that yellow, what I end up doing is I end up punching with a 3/4 inch punch circle just one of the pattern papers. I thought I was going to use this floral here, but it looks funny with the white border, and it doesn't really meld in. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a gel pen, and so it's raised a little bit when it dries, and I'm going to use the yellow gel pen around those yellow centers of the florals as well. I think you'll be able to see that in the close-ups. So I love that sprig. I love how that fills the white space, and I love how it ties the color throughout the layout. So I want to finish that little sort of, that really is a subtitle, The Beautiful Memories, and Rose Canyon Lake ends up being the title. So I will adhere this down, and with liquid adhesive, I always feel like I need to hold it. In the meantime, I'm going to kind of arrange the things that I want. I like the way that the 3x4 cards on top of the 6x4 cards adds a really nice layering of color, and that is where I'm going to journal. So you start on the left hand side, read through that, and then go over to the card on the right hand side. I had thought that maybe I would put a second picture into that purple framed piece, but really I had a lot of journaling that I wanted to share, and so it does end up taking up both of those cards there. So just a few little elements that I'm going to put on top of these cards. Just again, I love the way that it adds color, and that color pulls the whole layout together. I'm popping this floral up, and so I will use one of the phrase stickers that I do off camera, and that says, nice spring walk, the best moments. Lift that up, and that is the finished product, my friends. How cool is this collection from DLS Design? Pretty awesome, right? So thanks for stopping in today. I hope you're doing well. If you have any questions about DLS Design, please don't hesitate to leave them in the box down below. Enjoy the close-ups. Take care.